الحمد لله ثم الحمد لله. الحمد لله تعالى نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله تعالى من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. يا ربنا لك الحمد بلغتنا رمضان، لك الحمد أكرمتنا بالصيام، لك الحمد أكرمتنا بالقرآن. اللهم كما أنعمت فأدم وزدنا من نعمك واجعلنا من الشاكرين. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه وخليله، أرسله رحمة للعالمين وهدى وبشرى للمحسنين. فصل اللهم عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن اهتدى بهديه واتبع سنته واقتفى أثره بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، قد روى البخاري ومسلم وأصحاب السنن عن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أنه قال: الصيام جنة، فإذا كان يوم صوم أحدكم فلا يرفث ولا يسخر، وإن سابه أحد أو شاتمه فليقل إني صائم مرتين. والذي نفس محمد بيده لخلوف فم الصائم أطيب عند الله من ريح المسك، يترك طعامه وشرابه وشهوته من أجلي. الصيام لي وأنا أجزي به، والحسنة بعشر أمثالها إلى 700. In the hadith which been narrated in Bukhari and Muslim and the rest of the Sunan, on the authority of Abu Hurairah and other companions, that the Prophet ﷺ said, Siyam is a shield. When some of you is fasting, let him control his language, not to use a foul language, or let him not to be angry. And if someone wants to fight with him or quarrel with him, he should say, I am fasting, I am fasting. By the one who's Muhammad's soul in his hand, the breath of the fasting person is more sweeter to Allah than the perfume, the musk. He leaves his food and drinks and his desires only for my sake. Siyam is an exclusive property for me, and I am the one who rewards for it. The reward for a good deed is multiplied by 10 to 700. And this very famous hadith, which we memorized, we heard many times, there are plenty of lessons to learn. The main thing to me when I read such hadith like that is the connection between Siyam and Ihsan. In the very famous hadith, when Jibreel came to the Prophet ﷺ in the shape of a man, and he said, Ya Muhammad, tell me about this, tell me about that, until he says, tell me about Ihsan. Then the Prophet ﷺ replied by saying, Al-Ihsanu and ta'bud Allah ka'annaka tara. So Ihsan is about to worship Allah as though you can see Him. So this level of observation. So if we get to that very level, so we have full control. We control our tongue because we know that Allah Azza wa Jal is watching. We control our hearing, we control our desires, we control our actions, and so on and so forth. So this is what ihsan is about. To live and to act in accordance to what pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So siyam, and especially in Ramadan, brings this back to the forefront. So we can say that Ramadan is a training course to nurture and establish ihsan in our life. Helps us to protect ourselves against what displeases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is why he started the hadith sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, as-siyamu junnah. Siyam is a shield, i.e. it protects you against hell, against Jahannam. It's a protection against Jahannam, siyam. Why? Because when you are observing siyam with full etiquettes and the real meaning of siyam, rather than just autopilot siyam, refraining from food and drinks and intimacy from dawn till dusk. This is the technical meaning. But the spiritual meaning is about achieving ihsan. So siyam is about a shield, protects us when we observe the meaning of siyam. And this is the majority opinion of the scholars. As Imam al-Qurtubi and Ibn Abdul Barr mentioned, that the consensus almost, or the majority opinion amongst the scholars, the meaning of a shield here is against hellfire. Some other scholars like Ibn al-Athir in his book Al-Nihaya, commenting on the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, he mentioned it's a shield against your desires. So when someone is fasting, it diminishes his sexual desire, siyam. And we've seen this in another hadith, when the Prophet ﷺ says, whoever can marry should marry, and who cannot, he should fast, because it diminishes his sexual desire. So yes, siyam controls your sexual desire, but it goes beyond this as well. This is why, again, in the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ says, فَإِذَا كَانَ يَوْمُ صَوْمِ أَحَدِكُمْ. So if you were fasting, فَلَا يَرْفُثْ. Rafath in Arabic, it means foul language or anything related to sexual stuff. فَلَا يَرْفُث. So he's not allowed to use foul language. He's not allowed to get near anything which is sexual. فَلَا يَرْفُث. Number one. So he's in control of his desire, which we see later in the hadith. يَتْرُكُ طَعَامَهُ وَشَرَابَهُ وَشَهْوَتَهُ. And Allah says in the hadith, holy hadith, so he leaves his food, his drinks, his desire, only for my sake. This is where we see that it controls your actions. فَلَا يَرْفُث. So when we are fasting, we shouldn't use a foul language. Even outside siyam as well. But it's more confirmed in siyam. وَلَا يَسْخَبْ. And he shouldn't be angry. I know, when you are fasting, it's very easy to be angry. But ihsan comes into place. It's not observing the people around you. Our concern is not those who are around us. We are observing Allah, the Creator, subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is what siyam should bring to our practice, rather than just the literal meaning of siyam, which is abstention. It's not just the abstention. It's the ihsan bit, which we should bring to the forefront in our daily practices. And if someone wants to fight with you, or quarrel with you, or have a go at you, refrain from that. It doesn't mean if he was literally fighting you, you should just sit, do nothing. No, you definitely defend yourself, of course. But don't engage in the first instance. Don't be part of this in the first instance. Protect yourself by saying, I am fasting. Remind yourself. And remind him twice. So you say to yourself, I'm fasting. I'm fasting, it means you recognize that this is siyam. So you should stop. It brings control again over our anger. So you should put a cap on your anger. Keep it under control. And then the Prophet ﷺ says, the breath of the fasting person is more sweeter to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than the perfume. So don't shun away from this siyam because you feel that I might have bad breath or the like of it. It's okay. This is reward for you. And Allah will consider this more important, more fragrant than the mosque. It's an encouragement for the person to observe only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and not people. And of course, we can't understand from this hadith that you don't brush your teeth. That's okay. No. The hadith is not encouraging people not to brush their teeth. Definitely not. And then he said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, of course he's relating this from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah azza wa jalla says, as-siyamu li. Fast is for me. And the concept of siyam itself, it's all about ihsan. How? Because you can claim that you are fasting, but who knows what have you eaten at home? Who knows what have you eaten at work? What's in your drawer at work? Who knows? It's between you and Allah azza wa jalla. You can pretend that you are fasting, but reality is you are not. And this is not a claim. This is a reality you observe between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the whole concept is about bondship and connection and relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through ihsan. That I am fasting and only doing this for Allah's sake. Of course, we train our children to fast and probably they won't get into this level very quickly, but nevertheless, we do it for Allah's sake in the first place. And this is why Allah Azza wa Jalla says in the hadith, يَتْرُكُ طَعَامَهُ وَشَرَابَهُ وَشَهْوَتَهُ مِنْ أَجْلِي. So the most occupying thing in our life, to all of us, is our food, our drinks, our desires, and you name it. So we are willing to do so to please Allah. So Allah will consider this as something very important. And this is why He's saying that the reward for siyam, the only one who gives it and reward for it is me. So you cannot imagine what is the reward for siyam. And there is a special gate, just to refresh our memory, special gate from the 8 gates of Jannah, called the gate of Ar-Rayyan. The Rayyan gate is only for those who were observing Siyam. You see, it's a huge reward. That Allah will reward the fasting people with the right intention, Jannah. وَأَنَا أَجْدِي بِهِ. So when we leave our food and drinks and the desires which we like, what we like, we leave it for Allah's sake. We train ourselves that we leave what we like to please Allah. And it's very easy later to leave what is doubtful for Allah's sake, to leave what is haram for Allah's sake. Food and drinks are not haram, and intimacy with the wife is not haram. But Allah is training us in Ramadan to leave what is halal for His sake, to be able after Ramadan to leave what is haram for His sake. So go to the higher level and then you go down. يترك طعامه وشرابه وشهوته من أجلي. So he's appreciating this. He's acknowledging this subhanahu wa ta'ala for his servants. And this is iman booster for them. That you are capable and able to do that for my sake. So my reward will be beyond your imagination. And this is why the end of the hadith, Al-Hasanatu bi-ashri amthaliha. The reward for the good deed is multiplied by 10. This is the minimum, the start. Ila 700. And it goes to 700. Depends. Intention, devotion, determination, you name it. So what's on offer in Ramadan is huge. But we need to go and grasp it. We need to go and seize the opportunity. And alhamdulillah, we witnessed Ramadan. We know, for the matter of fact, many people passed away before Ramadan. Just one day before Ramadan. 2 days before Ramadan. They didn't get to Ramadan. So we should praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and thank Allah azza wa jal that we have been able to witness Ramadan. So let's seize the opportunity and increase our ihsan in our application, in our life, and make this Ramadan and this Siyam, inshallah ta'ala, the best Ramadan ever and the best Siyam ever. And Alhamdulillah wa kafa. Wassalatu wassalamu ala nabiyyil Mustafa wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man bi'ahdihi wa in Ramadan, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to increase his ibadah. And we are, alhamdulillah, trying our best to increase our ibadah, our recitation. But we need as well to do more reflections on what we recite. I know many of us will finish one juz a day or maybe more. Alhamdulillah, this is recitation for reward. Alhamdulillah, very good. But we need to have as well, whilst we are reciting, some reflections. We need to understand, even 2-3 verses, understand and apply. And this was the practice of the companions. They used to apply what they recite and live what they recite. So let's make this or establish this habit in this Ramadan, inshallah. So whatever we recite, let's try as much as possible to pick 1, 2, 3 verses from what we recited to apply on a daily basis. Let's make this as a daily task. You've recited one juz', pick 1 ayah or 2 ayahs from that juz' to apply, inshallah ta'ala. Within the whole month, you will have 30 to 60 new habits and stuff or good things you have established whilst you are reciting. Apart from the reward, you will have something in action, inshallah ta'ala. So don't take too much. Just start with 1 ayah or 2 ayahs to apply in your day and teach your children, your beloved ones to do the same. And inshallah we'll share the reward, all of us. Allahumma ya Rabbi ya Rahman, ya Badi'a as-samawati wal ard, ya Dhal Jalali wal Ikram. Allahumma inna nas'aluka al-'afwa wal 'afiyah wal mu'afata ad-da'imah fi ad-din wad dunya wal akhirah. Allahumma taqabbal minna as-siyam wa taqabbal minna al-qiyam wa tilawat al-Qur'an. اللهم إنا نسألك أن تجعلنا من الذين أحببتهم فأحبوك ومن الذين قربتهم فأطاعوك. اللهم اجعلنا نتحقق بمعاني الإحسان في رمضان. اللهم اجعلنا نتحقق بمعاني الإحسان في رمضان. اللهم اجعلنا نتحقق بمعاني الإحسان في رمضان. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين وارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين. فرج عن إخواننا المستضعفين في كل مكان يا رب العالمين. اللهم كن مع إخواننا في فلسطين. اللهم كن مع إخواننا في فلسطين. اللهم كن مع إخواننا في غزة. كن مع إخواننا في سوريا. كن مع إخواننا في العراق وفي اليمن وفي ليبيا وفي ميانمار وفي الصين وحيثما كان قهر وظلم يا الله. فرج الكربات يا رب العالمين. اللهم فرج يا مفرج الكروب. يا مفرج الكروب فرج كرباتنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم أصلح لنا دنيانا التي فيها معاشنا، وأصلح لنا آخرتنا التي إليها معادنا، وأصلح لنا ذرياتنا، وأصلحنا واجعلنا صالحين، وأصلح لنا ديننا الذي هو عصمة أمرنا. اللهم اجعلنا من عبادك المتقين، واجعلنا من الشاكرين، واجعلنا من الحامدين، وأعتقنا من النار يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعلنا ممن كتبتهم عتقاءك من النار في هذا الشهر يا الله، نحن ووالدينا وأحبابنا وأزواجنا وذرياتنا يا رب العالمين. أجب دعانا بكرامك يا مولانا، والحمد لله رب العالمين. عباد الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله العظيم يذكركم، واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم، ولذكر الله أكبر، الله يعلم ما تصنعون. قوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمكم الله. And do not forget to switch off your mobile or put it on silent, please. Come forward and make space for your brother.